So peace, love, and light to everyone who may come across this video. You would think that I know where to look by now, but I don't. I am looking at myself in here, looking directly at myself in here instead of at the camera, but I might remember to look at the camera. It just depends, you know. But this is gonna be my this is gonna be my vlog for the New Wife Chronicles. This is going to be my first one in a long time. I've actually made some on my phone that I have not edited or put up at all on the channel, to be honest. But I don't know. It's really more of a matter of me remembering that I recorded a vlog on my phone to put onto all of my platforms. When I do it on my computer, for some reason, I can just remember. And it's so much more easy. Let me fix this real quick. It's just so much easier for me to upload directly from my computer than it is. It's easy for my phone, but I just forget from my phone. But from my computer, eh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to doing it on my computer. But anyway, why am I rambling about that? That is not the purpose of this video vlog here. Okay. Let me pull up my little thing so everybody know I am fully clothed. I'm at the house by myself and I've got time to think and I've got time to talk and not have to run off to do anything. So I'm going to use this time right now to share some of my thoughts, to share some of the things that have transpired, some of the things that have happened. So first of all, with this probably being my very first vlog that is actually going to make it to my New Wife Chronicles channel since my very first vlog. First of all, that vlog is a couple months old. It has one video. It's about 30 minutes and I'm rambling thinking of, and it's like a literal video diary. This one, it's not going to be perfect or nothing. And I do feel like I'm still kind of going to be rambling, but I do have more of an idea of what I want to talk about. Especially since this is kind of like the newest edition. Is this still lit up? It's not, so it's fully charged. Okay. Here goes nothing. So in my first, just to catch other people up who may have never seen that video, in my first video, I'm kind of rambling on about my thoughts and my feelings of being a new wife and getting to know my husband. And really just the struggles, okay, and the woes and some of the pain that the growing pains that came from that. It's not over. It is nowhere near over. Actually, it's still all just in the beginning. But before, I was having these thoughts of wanting to leave, which I don't think I got a chance to say that in that video. I just wound up kind of like crying and I don't know, just kind of talking through my feelings. God, it is almost past my bedtime, but it's not quite. It's like 9 over here. Anyway, that's how that vlog went. It was like 30 minutes of me kind of, the word that just came to my brain was kind of complaining, about my lot in life at that point. And that's not what this video is going to be about. This video is not going to be more of a video diary. It's just going to be me catching. First of all, I'm going to share the new things that have happened in my relationship with my husband since I've been here. And then I'm going to share how those new things have affected me, how they're changing me even and growing me. So in the first video on this channel, which is the New Wife Chronicles, I was the only wife. I was the only woman at the time that was here and that my husband was actually actively dealing with. However, since that video, like months later, my husband wound up, like my husband's ex contacted him. And she was very adamant about wanting to get back with him. And my husband also, I, he was open to getting back with her. This is how we will say this. He was open to getting back with her. There was a time where he wasn't open. According to him and his testimony, there was a time where he was not open to getting back with her. But then he started thinking about it again, and then he was open again. And then she just so happened to come and talk to him. So, just as he had revisited the idea of being open to being with her, um, she came back into his life. So the thing was, I was kind of like, okay, so she comes back, she lets him know that she's interested in being with him and that she wants to be in a relationship with him. He then informs her about me and that I'm not going anywhere. And she's like, kind of like in this predicament too. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I know that I want to be with you and I don't want to go anywhere else and I want you. So that's fine with me type thing. I don't think that's how it went. This is just me kind of trying to summarize. And this is from my perception. Maybe at some point I'll be able to have them on my channel and we talk about and like everybody get to share what happened, what was happening for them. But yeah, so I wasn't here in Ohio at the time. I was actually visiting family because we were kind of like in a rough spot actually in our relationship. So I was over here trying to even figure out if I still wanted to be here, if I was cut out for it. I was really not sure about it. And it was really also because there were things that I didn't want to have to change necessarily about myself, or I was afraid to change and do all this changing. And then he wasn't doing any changing. Like, I'm like, bro, there are some things you need to work on. Okay. But you know, what I'm learning and what I've always known is that we're not responsible for anybody else's changing. You're only responsible for yourself. Um, so that's just that with that. That's a sidebar. When I came back from Texas is when he actually let me know that his ex had reached out to him and that she let him know she wanted to get back with him. Well, because he was talking to me about it and he knew in my mind, he knew and understood that I didn't want to be in a polygynous union. With the faith that we do observe, it is considered biblical Hebrew faith. And so it, you know, in the Bible, men did have multiple wives at times. Not every man, but a lot of men did. And my husband is one of these men who feels as though he wanted to be able to have multiple wives. Um, this was something that he did share with me that he was open to, but he also let me know that he would be more than happy with just one. So I took that to mean for me personally that he would be okay with just me. Anyway, I don't know why I thought that, but the point is, um, I was under the impression that it would just be me, and that was kind of why I agreed to marry him. Um, Even though I knew that it's possible that people can have more than one wife, I didn't think that he would want to take on another woman. So moving on, this woman, by the way, like I said, is an ex. She was before me. So um, when I got back from Texas from visiting my family, and I did come back, um, should probably be a whole nother video in the reasons that I came back. I'll just give a couple. I did miss him. I had grown attached to him at this point. I did miss him, and I also missed the life that I was beginning to create with him. I missed this house. I missed just even our dynamic, even though it's not as healthy as I would like for it to be. I still missed it. You know, it was ours, and I missed it. So whatever. Um, so when I got back and he shared, that they had been communicating, initially I was a little perturbed with the fact that they were communicating at all because I'm like, why are you talking to this person and we're together? I just kind of felt some kind of way about that. Neither here nor there. Because, and the reason I have to say that is because I will, let me go straight to the gusto and then come back and give details. I am still not this person who is pro polygyny for myself. Like, I still don't feel like I want to be in a polygynous union, or like I would have been like, pick me, my lord, for polygyny. I'm not that person. But I knew that I wasn't going anywhere. So it's like, what are you going to argue about when you can see that this man definitely wants this? Number two, um, the other lady also said that she was, or at least it came across as if she said that she was okay with, me remaining with him. So what I found out was like we kind of were both put in the same position. Like, you know, with me, when I got back here to Ohio and he's telling me that she came back and she wants to be with him, it was like that's all he said. He never told me one way or the other what he felt like he wanted to do or anything like that. I just assumed you must want to be back with her because that's the only reason why you would talk to her, and that's the only reason in my book why you be bringing it to me. And I don't personally, want to be in a polygynous union. So to me, the way that my mind worked was, oh, okay. It was like, oh, okay. Oh, I just saw something up here. It was like, oh, okay. So you must want to be with her. So I was like, well, shit. I just got back here from home, and I don't want to just leave you either. Even though part of me wanted to run away, I cannot lie to you guys. Like, part of me wanted to definitely run away. I wanted to be like, why didn't you say this while I was in Texas? Because I just would have stayed at home, and I would have had to get over him and whatever that would look like. I don't know what the heck that would look like, but I was just thinking to myself, I would just have to do something different because to me, I didn't want to be in a polygynous union. But that's not what happened. I got back. He told me, he put the ball in my court, and I was just like, it was I when I think about it, sometimes I feel like it was unfair because he already knew that I didn't want to be in a polygynous union. We had been having discussions about it before, but it's kind of like when the way that he said it and everything, I was just like, well, I'm not going anywhere, or I don't want to. And I was understanding of her, if I had an opportunity to go back to my ex, when I had let it, I just feel like I probably would have wanted this consideration too. I would have wanted my ex to consider my ass as well. So shit. I was like, okay, girl, like the other part of me that's like that's happy for other people was like, this is kind of cool. You get to go back to your ex. That doesn't always happen a lot. Men can be really cold hearted and mean and unforgiving. Okay, let's just go there for a brief second. We're done. That's the time that we were going there and we finished. That's a whole nother video. So, anyway, so we're sitting at the table. He tells me all of this, and I'm just like, damn, one part of me don't want it at all. And I was very vocal about me not wanting it. And then the other part of me is like, well, I know that it's allowed. I didn't want to be a part of a union like that, but I know that it's allowed and it's permissible. And this is really happening. So, I could say no. I would never have been like, hell no, because that's just not the way I am. But I would have, I think there will be a time that I would have been like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I don't want to be in a union like that. But my thing was, out of fear, I agreed with him because I felt like if I had said no, I don't want this, then it would have been over with me and him. So that's why I agreed to it at the time. And then it came back to bite me in the ass because, like, a couple weeks later, I was going through this up and down and this tug of war really within myself. And every day I was up and down about their relationship. I know, and I was kind of like, I know that I said that I would do this, but I don't really want to do this. And I really only said that because I didn't want to leave you, or I didn't, I felt like if I had told you no, you wouldn't have listened to me anyway, type stuff. So I started sharing all of that with him. We got into a lot of arguments behind it, and my feelings were all over the place. I was crying like every other day. I mean, not just like a little like tears running down my eyes. I'm talking about like a ugly cry, uh, from the depths of my soul, like I had died. Like the cry that I had when I was left by this other person that I was left by, you know, back in the day. I was crying like hard, like that. Um, and something did die. What died was my idea of the type of relationship me and this man were going to have. What died, I think, for me was my ideals about the type of marriage that I wanted to be a part of. That's what died. And I didn't know it at the time. Like that literally kind of just hit me just now. But yeah, that's what happened. So I was up and down, very, one minute I was for it, the next minute I wasn't. And what I realized was I was lying to myself. Like and not only did I lie to myself, but I lied to him and I lied to her by saying that okay, let's try something. So I did agree to try something. I just saw a weird ass shadow on this wall and it doesn't make sense because hmm, it doesn't make sense because of how we're positioned. But anyway, so I'm like going up and down, emotions all over the place. And this was happening. And there was nothing that I felt like I could do to stop it. And me threatening to leave, that wasn't really helpful. And I really didn't want to leave. Like, you don't want to go anywhere, Jude. And this was the thing. Every time I even thought about leaving him, I cried. I cried. Like I had total anxiety over it. And I'm not saying that to say like, oh, that must mean we're supposed to be together. But I had to admit that there was something there for me. Like I was saying something I didn't really mean. And I was saying I was going to do something that I really didn't want to do. So I had to reevaluate. I also had a really good friend who was really trying to be very encouraging to me. And she was like, you just never know. This could be really good for you. You could get a lot of help from her and all that kind of stuff, which is true because my husband is extremely demanding. Like really, the nigga is demanding. So, I love me some him, but he's very demanding. So, and here she was, she knows, like they were together for like 15 years. So she really knows him very, very well. But I mean, again, that was also the reason why I was probably insecure and threatened by her because she knows you. Like y'all know each other so well. Even if they had never like really ever said anything, being with somebody for 15 years, you're going to pick up on something. You're going to learn something. And y'all stayed together that long for some reason. That's kind of how I was feeling. So I was feeling some type of way. I was kind of like, I remember getting so angry with him a couple different times. Like, why didn't you just stay with her? Damn, I already been talking for 20 minutes. I'm about to get ready to end this vlog. But basically, I had agreed and then I reneged. And I was like, I want you to cut this off. If you don't cut this off, I'm leaving. I'm going back home and I need to just start over or whatever. And he just didn't want to let me leave. And I didn't really want to leave. That's not what I really wanted. And so that's why every time he was able to just hold me. I mean, literally, just hold me or just try to be consoling. That was all he did. While I cried and boohooed, and sometimes he was right there and he'd cry like once, one time, but he was just like, I'm torn. And it's not easy for me to do this either because I know that I came and got you. I know that I told you that it was over. I know that I said all of these things and I've taken you on as my wife and I've taken on responsibility for you and stuff. And, while I don't want to just leave you high and dry either. So I'm trying to do right by both of y'all. That's kind of what I feel like was happening. And I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't see his perspective because he had said it was over, and there was no chance of that happening again. So I was just pissed a lot. You know how sometimes you get more upset the more you think about something? Yeah, stuff like that happened. It had to hit me multiple times that he wasn't telling his own self the truth. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day as well. Initially, that's how I am now a part of a polygynous union. Now, I did say that I would try, and I meant that. So that's why I'm still in a polygynous union, because I'm actually trying now. Before, it's like I said something before I really knew what was gonna really take, what it was gonna really take. But now, once I got over, first of all, I had to not lie to myself. So once I initially was like, I don't want this, and I told him and I told her, once I let them know how I really felt, then it was like kind of like a clean slate. And I was like, I don't want this. And I used to keep saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. But I also knew that I didn't want to go anywhere, and she wasn't going anywhere either. So it's like, you can say that you don't want this, but this is happening. So what are you going to do and how are you going to actively participate? And so I chose to be positive. I chose to see the possible beauty. But I also chose to see that, listen, if this lady doesn't want to get with the program and if she doesn't really want it just as much as I don't really want it, then this is probably not going to work out and this is going to fall to shit. That's how I felt. And I was still kind of blocked. I was more open, I think, sometimes than she was, but I was also still kind of blocked. And so it's been a slow progression of just really kind of opening up, opening up. But other than that, so far it's been like it's been slowly but surely progressing in a positive manner. Like, we just got a chance to celebrate a holy day together. It was Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So we spent the first day, all three of us together, and then this today was that we're recording this today, tonight. The last is the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is also considered a Sabbath day. And then tomorrow is a Sabbath day, a weekly Sabbath. So, yeah, we just spent today together. It was nice. We laughed, we talked about stuff, each other. Um, Not in a mean or, shady way, but just having a genuine damn conversation between three different people. Um, I do still feel a little uncomfortable, like at times where we have to split up. Like, okay, so right now we have this thing where he goes with her one weekend for the Sabbath, and then one weekend he's here at the house that we share together. He's with me more, because she's just now kind of coming back into the picture. She has her own place right now. We are working on getting closer. So she and I will have an apartment that our husband is building, and we'll be in either like an upstairs or downstairs situation where we'll have our own apartment, own space where we can decorate and do what we want. Women need their own space. So yeah, but we'll be still close to each other and in the same vicinity. He'll just have to come and meet us, or whatever. Um, which I think is really cool for me because this is like a lot of house. I'm not used to this. This is so much house. This house is like 3 flights, which is another video for another day. So that's kind of how I got into polygyny. It was not something that I wanted to do, but at the same time, I do care about this man that I'm with. I'm learning so much. He's already changed, in my opinion. He's helped me change my life in a lot of ways, and I feel like that's gonna keep continuing. I think I'm expanding because of him. Like, I'm already a lover anyway. Really, I am. But I just had never seen this for myself. Like, you just know how you never thought about something for yourself and you don't think it's for you, but then you are forced into the situation, and then slowly but surely, and I do mean ever so slowly but surely, you, like, just stuff starts to show you that you could probably be really good at this, or this could be really beneficial for you. And that's kind of what seems to be happening. Unfortunately, maybe for my ego, but fortunately for my spirit, and fortunately for me, it's looking like I'm kind of cut out for this type of thing. And I'm weirded out by it because I still have some reservations of mine. I'm still sometimes sad when he has to go and spend time with her. I'm still sad that, oh, he's leaving for me and he's going over there and I'm going to be at the house by myself. But then there are those times where I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, please hurry up and go. I get the house to myself. I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to do anything for him. I can focus totally on me, whether that means me doing nothing or whether that means me doing a tarot card reading or writing more on my book or recording a video. You understand what I'm saying? I have the time to do that. I have the time to do that. So I am beginning to see the perks and the benefits, but it's been a little tough, y'all. And I'll have a story time where me and her got into it. Um, but it's so beautiful still how it all worked out. It's crazy. But yeah, so far that'll be what's happened. That's kind of like the catching up of what happened since my very first vlog here on the New Wife Chronicles channel. So now it's changing because now not only am I a new wife, to this man, but I am also a new sister wife or a new co-wife. So I'll be chronicling that journey as well. You guys can follow us on well, it's kind of like me only, but it's still gonna be us. You can follow us on the New Wife Chronicles on Instagram. That is new.wife.chronicles. I believe that's it. Without further ado, thank you guys for listening to me. Um, yeah, that's that. With that, I'm gonna say peace, love, and light to you all, and shalom.